What kind of stuff are they giving you the most trouble about in terms of censorship? Nudity or
like
lying?
waking up.
Just getting out of bed in the morning?
They just have it in their minds that they want to hire somebody, but they don't want any communication made. You know, they want to like make you into something. I don't know. It's like, I guess it goes into white homes. They're worried about that a lot.
What did it? Yeah, you know, it's funny. Gwen Barrett, our associate producer, or sometime producer, is black. You know, and Carmen Matias, Hispanic.
You have to be colored to be on television. You can't,
yeah, colored.
Yes, you can't be black. You have to have a little colored in there, just a taste.
Tad.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting for America.
Yeah. Well, she said, when we were talking about your humor, that your humor offends white people, and I'm not that easily offended. Like, I'm not coming from a spot where Richard Pryor is going to offend me. I think you have humor that makes us see a lot of the truth and laugh at things we wouldn't normally laugh at. I think that's part of what you're doing. What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let me go get my shovel.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Thank you, Bombas, for sponsoring today's episode. It's June in the Chihuahua Desert.
Let me turn that off. How has everybody been doing? I gotta fix my chat. I don't know why I don't have my chat working properly. But how's everybody been doing? Sorry, I've been taking a break from streaming. I'm trying to pull the chat up as we speak. As you guys can tell, I'm still dealing with allergies. And yeah, that's what's been fucking with me lately. Hold on, guys. Wow. Yes, there we go. Let's see if that brings chat up. If you're in chat, go ahead and try to type something to me. Yeah, I can see it, yes. Let me see if I can pull a doc up with my chat. All right. So how you been, Joe? I know the last time I was streaming, I can't pull it up, but I think I can see it. But don't if you was asking me a direct question, go ahead and type it again. But that's why I was trying to respond a little bit. I was trying to give you some water. Because it has definitely been a hot freaking day. Not only has it been hot, but the humidity and oh shit! Yes! Fuck! Yes. Yes. God damn it. Yes. Holla fucking Hallelujah. I feel for you, man. I feel elated for you. Yes. Um. Damn. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I I know you've been looking forward to this. I know you're looking forward to this. So, congratulations. Congratulations. I have to be honest with you guys. Um I ugh. I don't think that's gonna happen. As long as people realize that, and you know what, this has been an ongoing thing. I know I released videos about it, but I think what's been happening, especially with a lot of people that fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. A lot of these Zoomer motherfuckers, they're fucking cowards. I know I have some in my audience, and I know this just by the people I interact with. You complain about a loss of an election. You complain about how things aren't going exactly right the way you wanted to go right, exactly when you want to go right. But you don't want to do shit to like actually address the problem. You want to say, this should be right, and fucking it should just flip on a dime. You think you compromise by playing politics? As Joe can actually tell you, he's somebody who has been in the motherfucking mix of this shit, and to have change, you actually have to play politics. Playing politics is not what corrupts people. Playing politics is not what makes you evil or dirty. It makes you have to deal with other people's ideas and other people's lived experiences, other people's feelings, and other people's beliefs. Just because somebody is different from you doesn't mean that they're exactly wrong. Yeah, this is the bullshit. The thing is, and I'm not a centrist, so get that bullshit out of here. Just I don't agree with everybody on every fucking thing. I don't agree with the left on every fucking thing. I'm not a centrist. But the fact is, Joe Biden has been doing shit behind the scenes. And you can expect a U.S. president to fucking control a president or a prime minister of another country. You complain about local dog catchers not listening to you. Why do you think somebody else in another fucking country will listen to you? Now, it's been coming out recently that, well, even though Biden has been moving as quickly as people would like, he's been doing shit to slow the advancement of the IDF down. It's a recent report, and Benjamin Netanyahu was crying about it. It's like, they're not giving us stuff like we needed to. It's been happening for a while. Yeah. The fact is, 2016 was fucked. It was fucked. I will say that. It was fucked. But live through the 2000 elections. A lot of these Zoomers are experiencing their first big loss of an election. And then they're saying, well, I lost, I don't want to play anymore. That's not how this game works. Joe, just help me out. Help me out here, man. How many elections have you seen that should have gone the way that people were expecting it, but ended up with a fucked up ass Republican? As you live, things compound, things happen. What makes things better is you actually keeping the fight going. I don't get it. So many of these people are just, and then to have, recently a story came out that motherfucking 8 to 13-year-olds in Hawaii actually took Hawaii to court. Instead of just motherfucking whining and bitching on the internet, they took action. Some of these people need to motherfucking watch Schoolhouse Rock about civics, but they don't care about civics. We have motherfuckers like Vaj. We have motherfuckers like motherfucking Hassan. Well, they're just evil, and we can't do anything about it. Fuck, you guys are at least 25 years old. Go run your ass for an election, and if you can't, get a group of people that can run for election. Don't be sitting back here talking about, oh, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. They teach civics, but they don't. A lot of these people just don't care. They'd rather sit back in friend groups online where they don't have to have an accountability of dealing with people they don't want to argue with. And when they argue with somebody, they say, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to sit back and, motherfucker, I'm going to say I'm right. Slam their dick on the table and walk off. That's not how it works, Chief. Look, I am not above saying that the current generation know more about political theory than anything. They know about it, but they have commodified people being angry, people being motherfucking. They've commodified people being outraged. They commodified. How do you commodify being an outcast? You have commodified being an outcast and become just as insulated and just as isolated and pig-headed in your belief than any motherfucking conservative that you have a fucking issue with. Politics is like the wheel of fate. It turns and you can end up crushed under it. But let this shit get out there. Let this shit get out there. You gotta play politics. They fucking hate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she actually plays politics. Well, how come she didn't get in there and change the house? It's 4 Justice Democrats or 6 out of 435. I will guarantee you that some of these people that are thought leaders online, people that have big ass platforms to be the greatest progressives, will say, if you ask them how many people are responsible for making laws in the USA, they will give you some bullshit number. The number is 535. Well, Crimson, how's it 535? 435 in Congress, 100 in the Senate. But they don't think about that. These are the same people that was like, well, if Bernie Sanders would have got in, it would have been different. With what Congress? A fucking president can't pass laws by just fiat. If you want a president to pass laws like by fiat, you're no different from the Trumpers. Well, I'm running more. No. You just want a benevolent dictator. What happens when that benevolent dictator is no longer there? And you know what? That's got to be the most effective man. I'm glad you brought him up. Old Turtle McConnell was the most effective man in the Senate. Second to him has only been Bernie Sanders. I will give Bernie Sanders that. He has been effective in Congress and the Senate more than anything. But president will not be them. Bernie Sanders will never be president. He will never be effective as president either. And I know that's going to hurt some people's feelings. And that goes against some of the things I've said earlier on the channel. But when you actually have somebody who literally is using his run for presidency to boost up his legislative credentials, I don't need him to be president. Let him stay where he is. Let him pass laws. Let him influence the president. God, it's so fucking irritating. And maybe it's the whole get off my lawn type shit because I'm old now, 42. But it's like, you have to be effective. You can't just sit back on the internet and motherfucking call people you disagree with. Just like here, like I've been watching videos offline, so bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Just trying to pull something up. Yeah. Effective. Let's I was gonna just do this in game. Yeah. I was gonna do some gaming. Well, let's do this right quick. By the way, I don't think the Supreme Court is gonna let Trump off. I don't, but we never know. Let's look at this video. Put my headphones in. Sorry if you hear a lot of noise in the background. I have a shit ton of fans on, but all right. So just coming across this video, I watch a wide range of videos and creators where literally I just like to see what other people actually think. And the fact is, a lot of people, when you are in these online bubbles, you kind of get closed off into thinking one kind of way, and you miss ideas that you wouldn't get otherwise. Whether they challenge your ideas, whether they motherfucking whether they challenge your ideas, whether they I don't know, make you rethink your ideas, whether they reaffirm your ideas. A lot of people are stuck in these online echo chambers. But I saw this one and I kind of realized something. For a libertarian, sometimes this motherfucker is right and sometimes this motherfucker is wrong. So Louis Rossman, I literally have issues with his ideas of piracy. Now, I think sometimes piracy of certain shit is, I'm not even gonna say justified. If you paid your money for something and you don't get your money and you don't get the product, it's not piracy. But a company saying, I don't want to sell this to you, and you're like, well, I deserve to get it, and you still get it without paying for it, that's piracy. A company changing its terms in the middle of an agreement that you have with them. That's something that I disagree with, and that's something that he does disagree with. But in the end, this guy's an activist, and when you hear some of the shit that he says, this is how activists actually think. So let's go ahead and let's listen to this video. Where is my camera? There we go. Okay, we didn't miss anything yet. All right, let's go.
Call it even. Well, I tried to do that and it's still not even. My brother replaces his phone almost every year to year and a half. Anytime something really small goes wrong on one of his vehicles, he simply trades it in for another one, which is a giant waste of money and also a waste the place he's trading it into is not fixing the vehicle for resale. They're definitely doing it if it's something basic wrong with it. Back to this. I keep telling him that repair is something that he should be doing because this is a good thing. However, he refuses to do it and he even says that repair is stupid. What do I do? I think that you're making the mistake that most activists make, which is essentially...
So, just to give you a heads up of what happened. He received a letter from a viewer saying that, hey, my brother doesn't care about repairs. Every small thing about something that breaks on his car or vehicle, he goes ahead and just like, I don't want to fix it, let me just get a new one. And there are a lot of people that do that. A lot of people have been trained, instead of just trying to fix something, trying to repair something, they actually just go and just buy a new one. And then there's other of us who can't just do that shit. It was smaller side. I recently got my PlayStation 4 back. I of course have a PlayStation 5. That's what I game on mostly. But I recently got my PlayStation 4 back a couple of days ago. The reason why I recently got it back is because it was fucked up. Now, could I have went out and bought a new PlayStation 4 for, I don't know, $60 or $70 more than what I paid for repair? Yeah, I could have. But my shit is my shit. I wanted my PlayStation 4 fixed and returned. And because of some fuck shit, it took them 2 months to get it back to me. And quite frankly, I still kind of went through the process of getting my PlayStation 4 back because I don't like to buy the new shit where, one, it could be unaffordable, two, the shit that I had was actually repairable, and three, it would have done more harm than good. In the long run, I have my PlayStation 4 now. I'm able to take some steps to do other shit with it that I can do that I couldn't do with just my PlayStation 5. And to have that right to say, like, I need to repair it. First, I had to try to take it to an off-brand shop, which actually repaired my, they actually repaired the other PS4 that I had before and a PS3 that I had. Now I took it to, and I had to take it back to Sony. But that should be my right to say if something goes wrong, I can repair it. I bought a used car because it's easier to repair sometimes than just, well, I couldn't afford a car note, let's be honest. But that's why having the right to repair is such a good thing. But let's go.
Essentially, you're trying to get somebody to do something by telling them this is a good thing, you should be doing this. And with that, there are certain underlying assumptions and implications. So let's go over that. And just please, Mr. Jaccarino, if you're watching this, just understand that when it comes to math and algebra, at some point, the student becomes the teacher. So, anyway. So let's go over this over here. So what you're telling your brother over here is this. Repair is good. Plus, brother doesn't repair. Now, your brother probably thinks he's a good person, right? Brother is good person. However, based on the way you've laid this out, that's technically going to sound false, right? Because if repair is good and brother doesn't repair, then brother is a good person is not going to be true. So
this is the algebra problem that he was talking about. And this is exactly what a lot of people see. This is exactly what a lot of people hear. This is exactly what is the problem with a lot of activism online. This is exactly what is a problem with a lot of people who try to reach out online. Well, if you don't like DIE, then you're an evil, racist person. I'm a good person. No, you're evil and racist. But no, you're evil and racist because you don't like it. Well, if you're not standing up for this particular group, then you're an evil person. You're this and that person. I don't agree with it. No, you're evil and bad. This is what people hear. When was the last time? When is the last time that you've actually heard somebody change their mind from being told you're bad, change? When was the last time you heard somebody says, well, this is a good thing to do, and if you don't do it, then you're a bad person? I'd take one better. Because you like edgy jokes, you're an evil neo-Nazi. You're a fascist. What? Because you like making fun of people, you want to see them all not exist anymore. Wait, what? This is the shit that we see on the online left. And I'm sorry, as somebody who paid attention to the earliest times of online atheism, you motherfuckers sound just like the Christians you were making fun of at that time. Oh, you're backwards. You're evil. You're stupid. How is that going to change anybody's mind? Go back to the people that are effective with communicating what they believe about shit, other than just making fun of one person. Now, is it okay to make fun of one person? I make fun of one person all the time. I will. But to just come back and just shit on somebody's complete audience because, oh, well, if you follow this person, you're just ontologically evil. Stop. Stop. But let's continue.
So let's go through this here and figure out what he's doing in his head. So he's doing this. So he's starting off with this part of the equation. Brother is good person, right? I mean, we'll make this true. Here's what he does. Then we go back here and we do, actually I could copy and paste. Look at that. And do this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Brother doesn't repair. And what he does is he just removes repair is good. Minus repair is good. So he just takes this and he crosses it out. Because he needs to cross that out in order to be a good person, right? Or what he could do is this. Here's what he could also do to make this statement true. Repair is good plus brother does repair equals brother is good person. True. However, in the second statement, he has to fundamentally change who he is. Not only does he...
And see, this is where it gets. This is where it gets. This is what a lot of people who do activism actually believe. Oh, if I just tell somebody this is good, then like they'll change their whole opinion about themselves and who they are and call it a day. And then change happens.
You have to change who he is, but he's not changing who he is as a result of making the decision on his own. He's changing who he is because you told him he should, because if you want to do the right thing, if you want to be good, you should do this. That fundamentally goes against the lizard brain in almost all human beings. Admittedly, it goes against mine. You could tell me that something I'm doing is bad. If you wanted to be good, you would do this, and there's going to be something in my head that just wants to resist you because you told me that I was bad. That's the way people work. Even logical humans are humans. We feel emotions, and that's how we work. And this is something that you could see going on very often in the real world. When you tell somebody that, hey, climate change is a thing, you driving your F-350 diesel, you're bad. Does he go out and buy a Toyota Prius? Or does he go to the DPF delete guy and then roll coal on every single hybrid and electric vehicle that he sees on the road because you led him to believe that these people think he's a shitty human being for his life choices?
And see, that's the thing. You talking down to somebody is not going to win them over. It's not. What it's going to do is going to make them feel like, well, I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing, and totally dismiss what you're saying. Or they're going to say, well, I always think I'm deplorable, so you don't fucking care about me. So if you think I'm deplorable, I'm going to act deplorable. But let's go.
COVID, if you say, well, technically, scientifically, when you go downstairs to pick up the mail, if you greet the mail person, you may not die and she may not die, but if you have it and you spread it to her, she could spread it to somebody who spreads it to somebody who spreads it to somebody who spreads it to somebody whose grandmother now has a 6% more chance of death because of you. Is that person going to go, oh, you're right, I'm not going to do that, I'm sorry? Or are they going to go on Rumble and read that like 5G causes COVID and the way you cure it is, I don't know, sniffing cinnamon bun fusion from H-E-B. Like, in all seriousness, I'm not kidding. When you go about trying to change people's minds or change the world, the worst way that you could go about it is by setting up an algebraic equation where A, they're bad, B, they're a good person if they listen to you, or C, they're a good person but you're wrong. Because 99% of the time, C is going to be what occurs. And here's the worst part about that brand of activism. It puts people so on edge that when you actually do present the real, genuine truth to them, something that would actually benefit them if they believed in or listened to or tried, they're not going to want to have any of it. They're not going to want to listen to you. Their mind is going to be as closed off as a kitty that got kicked 30 times by its previous owner when you go over to pet it and say, good kitty, and it goes...
See, that's the thing. I've always, and this is one of the ways I've actually taught my daughter. I am not going to just sit back and just say, do things because I said so. I'm going to offer an explanation. If you don't agree with my explanation, then I tried. And I've made sure that I've let you know that, hey, this is my explanation. But so many people are so scared, are so worried about being questioned. I don't know, is it because they don't believe some of the shit that they say? Is it because they haven't thought about the principles other than, oh, well, this is how it's supposed to be, and now I'm right and all that other good bullshit. A lot of people are just do what I say and that's it, and don't fucking question me. And that's so fucking stupid. Should you question somebody's personal feelings and experience as far as invalidating them? No, but you can damn well try to figure out where they're coming from. And I think that's what a lot of people lose. They lose the whole idea of saying that, well, I feel this way because this, and this is what hurts my feelings. Other than just saying, no, I don't like it, shut up. For the longest time, we lived in a world where people couldn't express themselves. People couldn't just say, hey, I feel this way because of this. And that was our fault. We created that world. And nowadays, people are saying, I can't express myself because I shouldn't have to. You shouldn't question me. I shouldn't have to explain why I feel this way. You shouldn't have to explain why you're valid. That's cool. But you can explain if someone is trying to understand who you are and what you are. That's the thing that happens. But so many people are so fucking, in a lot of cases, they're so fucking mentally lazy that they think, I don't even want to try to understand my own feelings. I don't even want to try to understand how to explain this to other people. I don't want to learn how to communicate. And then you get caught in the circle of, don't question me. That's not how that works. You can be questioned. You just can't be invalidated. But you can be questioned. But let's continue.
And the person to blame will be you. That may sound harsh, but it's the truth. It's kind of like Newton's laws of physics. You know, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Like for each time that you go out of your way to make somebody who has an F-350 diesel feel like they're a bad person, they will roll coal on a Tesla. Like, you know, I'm being serious here. This is not a joke. This applies across issues, across political spectrums, across countries, anything else. Anytime somebody even detects a hint of you implying that they're a bad person as a result of their belief system because they do wrong things, they are going to resist you. It's natural. It is as natural as the laws of physics, which is why when it comes to right to repair, the way I talk about it, I never shame people for their decisions and what they do with their electronics.
So this is actually really interesting. Where you have it where, and he said it right, there's so many people that will fight back because you're saying that they're a bad person, they're a good person. They will just instinctively, reflectively get defensive. Because what you're not attacking, not necessarily that they're a good or bad person. You're attacking who their identity is, who they think they are. And that's fucked up. That some people have an identity problem. What's fucked up is that it's so many people that don't know how to describe themselves, that they make what they do their identity, or a brand that they buy an identity, or a person that they like an identity. God, I want to get big on YouTube, but if I actually have somebody or a group of people saying that I want to be Crimson Holics, I would have a issue with that. I would have an issue with that. And that's the thing. So many people are just, they don't know how to do a self-exploration. But I digress. Let's go.
You fix your electronics? Great. If you pay somebody to fix your electronics? Great. If you buy a new one every week? I don't care. You will not find a single video in the 3,000 plus videos I've done on this channel in 12 years where I am shaming somebody because they didn't fix something. I shame many people for trying to take away your right to fix something. There are many people, many companies, many lawmakers. I will shame the shit out of people that try to take the option away from you. But what I'm advocating for is that you have that option. And the way that I get people excited about that option is I talk about the benefits of it. And not only do I talk about it, I show you the benefits of it. Here's a $2,000 device. Apple wants $1,500 to fix it. Here's how you can fix it with a $5 chip. Here's how you can fix it for $200. Here's how you can make it work again in 15 minutes. And even if you don't make it work again, you feel like you had a good time. Let's try to create a little bit of personal investment so that people actually care about this issue because they want to care about it, because it means something to them rather than simply because I told them that they're bad. That doesn't work. And sometimes I wonder.
And see, that's the thing. The next time you're trying to convince somebody, don't make it a good or bad thing. Explain to them your point and ask them, would that benefit them? If it does, cool. If it doesn't, you explained your point. But how many people are willing to do that? I joke all the time that I'm always right. I joke about it. It's fun. But the fact is, no one is always right. And would you tell somebody can be challenged. Would you say to somebody can literally just be challenged to say like, hey, maybe you're wrong. But a lot of people don't want to actually deal with that. They want to deal with the fact that, no, I always want to be right. I need to be right. I always need to be right. But let's continue.
About this myself. Like, I'm an abrasive asshole. Outside of the fact that I have no social skills, I am an abrasive prick. How did I get millions of subscribers? How did I get so many people to the point where whether I'm at an airport in Germany or driving through Custer, South Dakota, that somebody will fist bump me and say, yeah, right to repair, to actually care about this issue? Because in spite of the fact that I'm abrasive about the topics that I talk about, I never make you feel like you're the bad guy. You're not the joke. You can be in on the joke, but I don't make you the joke. It's somebody else that's the enemy. It's somebody else that's the bad guy. It's somebody else that's punching down at you and fucking with you. And when I present these narratives, I present them with citations in a factual way. Sometimes I'll even include recordings like I do with the Farm Bureau, so you could read their emails and listen to the shit that they say on the phone and see that they are against you. I am not against you. Somebody else is against you. That's why you should care.
And see, that's the thing. That's what a lot of activists, and I know I'm targeting the online left because that's the group I'm a part of. And they don't get it. Whenever you call all conservatives hogs, or you call these people, oh yeah, all these people, they're hopeless and they're shameless, and you shouldn't worry about actually appealing to them. It's like, one, that's giving up on people. Two, it's so many people that say, well, once a conservative, always conservative. They're just lying about changing. And you have to ask these people, how fucking morally lucky are you that you've never had to change your mind about shit? Some of the biggest videos I have on this channel, especially about people on the left, is their unwillingness to actually teach people, their willingness to stay sheltered and closed off in these motherfucking niche ass communities and wonder why things don't change. Because they're so willing to throw everybody that believes a certain way under the bus instead of trying to talk to people as if they're people. They don't see them as people. And that's the biggest complaint that people on the left. Well, I'm a person. I'm an individual. I'm so special. I'm this and that other kin. But you can't afford the same respect to somebody that you have a political disagreement with? It sounds stupid. But let's go.
Works. Telling somebody that they're bad because they went downstairs to get their mail or because they drove an F-350 diesel to tow their boat, that's just not going to work. You can try, but it's not going to work. If you look back through my channel for the last 12 years, you will not find a single video of me ever shaming somebody because they chose to purchase something new instead of fix their old one. If you want me to fix your device, great. If you want to fix your device yourself, by all means, go ahead and fix your device yourself. And if you want to buy a new phone every 2 months simply because you don't want to take a toothpick to remove dust from the charging port, you do you. There are many things in this channel that I've said that can be seen as offensive, as incendiary, as charismatic, as bombastic, but you will never find me insulting somebody because of their personal life choice to not fix something that could be fixed. It's not.
And that's a lesson that I try to incorporate more and more into my videos. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it started about 2.5 years ago, almost 3, where I started opening myself up. And yes, it was because of dating, where I would talk to women that are more conservative than what I am. And I learned a long time ago is you'll never attack them. You always ask their attack of the point. You ask what they believe about the point. Sometimes it's monstrously cartoonish. I will give you that. But sometimes, if you give them enough leeway, they start getting to their point and what they believe. And when you hear about it, it's kind of telling. it's almost as if trying to understand somebody is more beneficial than just shitting on somebody. I know, weird, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I would rather have a channel. I would rather have communication. I would rather have activism where I'm not shitting on people who believe a certain way. I like to shit on ideas and explain how they're not their ideas. How they don't need to hold their belief. They can hold their beliefs without their beliefs holding them. That's what I want. Because if they just hold their beliefs and the beliefs don't hold them, you can attack the beliefs all you want to without directly attacking the person. And a lot of people can't do that. They want to attack the person for simply holding the beliefs. No matter how somebody was raised, no matter how somebody lived, attack the person. But let's go.
Not something I do. The way that I get people excited about what it is that I do is I make it cool to them. I turn it into a game. This is something a company says you can't do. This is something that a company says you're too stupid to do. This company tells legislators that magnetometers and microwaves will explode, that games will play consoles. And then I play it for all of you. And I let you know. These people think you're idiots. These people want to steal parts out of your phone simply because you didn't want to pay $207 for a battery to a device that costs $140. I don't make the customer the bad person. I make somebody else the bad person. You know how real activism works? You don't make the person you're talking to the bad guy, because nobody wants to be the bad guy. And if you phrase your activism in a manner where the person you're talking to feels like the bad guy, they're not going to listen to you. It doesn't matter how illogical whatever the fuck they came up with is in order to not believe you. It doesn't matter if the logic that they used in coming to that conclusion that you're wrong is logic that they would never apply to any other area of their life because they know it's crazy. They are going to believe the bullshit they tell themselves simply because you have given them an incentive structure to believe that, because you have told them if they don't believe this, they're a bad person. People have...
How many people will sit back and say, I'm a bad person? I'm not talking about the whole jokey like, I'm a bad person, I'm not a good person. How many people seriously would sit back and think of themselves as a bad person? I'll take it one better for you. How many people don't think themselves the main protagonists of the story of life? That's a little bit of a different question, but it actually hits a little bit harder. There's so many people in this world wouldn't think twice about thinking that they're the main character. You did something bad. Why did you hurt me? When so many people are just dismissive of other people. But you hurt me. I didn't think about you. Of course you did, because I'm the main character. And I'm always good. And you hurt me. Too many times I've dealt with people who have the attitude, it's all about me. Yeah, no, exactly right. And some of it is not even malicious either. That's the fucked up part about it. Some people you can dismiss like, oh, they're just being assholes to just be assholes. But some of it is just like, wait, there are other people? And that's the sad part about it. And that leaks into activism. Because here's the thing, you have to deal with people's ego. And I'm not talking about, bombastic, overzealous attitude. I'm just talking about how people think of themselves. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to, I'm right, throw their dick on the table and walk off. And now you should change. But let's go.
They're very good at believing lies when they have the right incentive structure.
You want to know the best thing you can say to a guy in bed? Ladies, say yes, and I'll tell you what the best thing you can say to a guy during sex is. This is the best thing you can say to a guy during sex. You guys are having sex, and you look at him, and you go, ouch. And hold your stomach when you say that shit, too. Oh, my lung. I got... Every guy knows exactly how big his dick is. You say ouch, we will believe the lie you are telling us. Hold your neck, we don't give a fuck.
Is he wrong? And you're trying to think through this.
Okay, that was actually cool. You ever, like, seriously, if you're a guy, it has sex with anybody, if you're just a penetrator, like, just put it like that. And you hear somebody say, oh, it hurts to go in. And I mean, like, I'm like, they can be lying their ass off. You can have a dick the size of, micro dick. But if they actually believe it hurts to go in, oh, God, that has just boosted that man's ego. He is right. Every man knows how big his dick is. Some of them actually think it's smaller than what it is. But if you told a man that's penetrating you, ouch, it hurts, in a good way, you have just boosted that man's confidence 10 times. He can have poor sex with everybody else for the rest of his life, but he's going to remember that one time somebody made him feel good about the size of his dick. But let's go.
This logically, and a lot of people who are activists try to think this out logically. If I just make the right logical argument, if I show them the right scientific study, they don't care. They don't care about your scientific study. They don't care about reality at that point. What they care about is not wanting to feel like a bad person. And if you're the activist that regularly gets these responses, this is on you for phrasing it that way. When I talk about right to repair, do you hear me telling people, oh, did you fix your toaster oven or buy a new one? Oh, shame on you. Did you fix your transmission or have somebody replace it? Oh, yeah, you replaced your transmission? Was the old one fixable? Yeah, man, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you care. Oh, man, do you really care about repair? I don't do this shit because it doesn't work. It fundamentally goes against human psychology. It doesn't matter how many logical arguments you stack one on top of the other on top of the other. It doesn't matter how much authoritative evidence you have. It doesn't matter how many, none of this shit matters because at the end of the day, people are conditioned to be tribal. They are conditioned to want to believe what people on their side believe. But above all of that, we are conditioned to want to believe that we are good human beings. And if you can guide somebody to a thought or an idea as a result of them actually taking their own interest in it, by all means, go for it. If you try to get people excited about repair by showing them, hey, here's a $2,000 product that the manufacturer wants $1,500 to fix, and here's how you can fix it for $200. That works. If you can show somebody, hey, see how you're making like $50K a year at your business, you'd be able to make closer to $150K if you started doing this. Oh, you'll get them excited about it. If you show them, hey, this thing that the manufacturer says will take 2 weeks to send out a part for, here's how you can make it work right now so that you're actually able to have a working air conditioner in Texas heat. That's a dopamine kick right there. And even if there's no genuine benefit to them in the moment, simply having that dopamine kick of making something work again seals the deal on them as a supporter of my cause. I have never, in my entire life, ever gotten somebody to sign on to a cause that I care about by making them feel bad about themselves. And I don't think that you're doing that on purpose. You're not on purpose trying to tell your brother that he's doing something bad and he's wrong and all this other stuff. That's not your intention. You want him to care about an issue that you care about. And I simply believe that you're going about it the wrong way. And I think
that's one of the things. I think that's the thing where a lot of people don't realize. If you said it as an either or, good or bad, right or wrong, what you're doing is challenging somebody to be on your side and change who they fundamentally are. If it's some shit that they don't care about, a lot of people are just like, okay, yeah, whatever. But if they have an invested interest in something that's part of their identity, you're fucked if you make it as you're a good or bad person if you do this. We thought we were beyond it, but we're not. Well, let's go.
Everybody watching this, for whatever issue it is that you advocate for in your own life, are you doing this? Are you setting up these algebraic equations where either my thing is true and you're bad, or you're good and my thing is wrong? Don't cause people to do that, because the moment that you get people into that part of their head, they stop listening to reason, evidence, anything else. They will throw that shit out the window. Whatever standard that person applies to every other area of their life, they're not going to apply to yours because you've put them into a position where you're implying that they're not a good person. People stop being rational at that point. And you can't expect them to be rational at that point because you wouldn't be rational at that point. If I set up my phrasing to the point where you're a bad person or you're doing bad things and you're doing them intentionally, unless you do what I ask for, aside from the whole control aspect and element of it, it doesn't feel good to feel like that. Something to think about. Have you ever in your own life tried to get somebody to believe in a certain cause or a certain thing and realized that you kind of hit that stone wall and not realize until watching this video that what you were doing was setting up that reverse algebra equation? And if so, what could you have done differently to get somebody to actually care about your issue?
So, yeah, we're going to stop that right there. But that's correct. How many people have you saw just utterly fail with communicating just everything because I don't know, they just felt like it was a good or evil problem, and when they did that, what they did was they made it where they set themselves up. But anyway, for all of you guys who are activists online, who push certain agendas, certain ideas, think about that next time you're talking to somebody. I know I'm trying to do more and do a little bit better. I hope you do too. All right, guys. So yeah. Wow, that's my first segment recorded back after so long. You know, I'm gonna say this. I have been struggling. And to be honest with you guys, I've been really, really struggling. And I've been struggling because, well, winter is not my best time of year. It's not. And the continuation of the hay fever and allergy season has really caused, like, as you can see, I'm still coughing, dealing with allergies. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I've been struggling. I am, even, as you guys can tell, I haven't been, streaming. I haven't been, putting a lot of things out there. Put, 2 car videos out there where I was just talking about shit. And, part of that is because just dealing with everything. Just to talk about it a little bit more. I'm a 42-year-old guy. I have lived a life where I've been married, I have a kid, been divorced, then went back to my whole phase for a little bit. Shit, still want to be back in my whole phase. I have worked for a corporate job for 20 years. I have did YouTube for 7 years. And started my artistry, started picking back up art for the last 6 years. And it's been a real struggle. Had a lot of financial issues, part of it the pandemic and shit like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna get too much into it because it's not too much anyone else's business. 2, it's just a lot of shit. And it's been really hard to come back and start streaming. Sorry about that. I've had to take some time off of work. Had to take some time where I quite frankly, work has started to actually affect my physical health. Now I work for a call center, and some of that is sitting down all day, having a sedimentary lifestyle, and that is just so unhealthy. I it started really affecting me in a way that I just wasn't happy with myself. And I know people thinking weight gain, weight gain, weight gain. And yeah, some of it is weight gain, but also because of the allergies and shit, some of it was a dramatic weight loss. And I didn't like it because it was it was loss of strength, and quite frankly, just not a good thing, than good place that I was at. So me actually accomplishing this, where I want to do a lot sooner. I'm glad I did take the time to, at least for this little bit, start pulling up the camera to stream. Everybody who, even if you stop in and watch for a little bit, just hit that like button if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Leave a comment saying that stop saying being such a whiny bitch. But this is one of those things where it's just been difficult as of late. And I didn't want to just get on stream and bother you guys with the, well, even more half-ass show than what I normally do. But I'm gonna work a little bit better to try to be better. I'm still trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. That's something where I'm still trying to do. Still trying to do. I've been gaming a lot recently. But to be honest with you guys, for a while, what let me know that I needed to actually get a little bit of assistance is I stopped wanting to game for like 2 weeks. And that's abnormal for me. Something that I've been doing since I was 7. Something that I've actually always spent time with actually doing. And when I said I didn't want to game, it was a problem. And you know what? I'm doing now that I have the time off, I'm actually working out because I got to work on my machine at my house at least once a day. I am getting my bike overhauled. First I thought I was going to do a lot of repairs myself, but I figured I'd just take it to the repair shop and actually just get it overhauled. It cost me like $68 to get overhaul and new brakes, so I'll let them pay for that. I'll pay for them. I'll pay that to let them fix it. Also, kind of like addressed, started addressing an overall fear. I'm definitely afraid of doctors, but in order to get the time off, I had to go to the doctor and actually speak with them and set up a primary care physician. So, it's difficult. And being a middle-aged guy who lives on his own, not only that, who people depend on in a way, it's it's interesting. I wouldn't say I have a loneliness aspect of it because I reach out to friends all the time. I talk to friends all the time, not just online, but through like conversations. So I don't think I have an issue there. But I think my issue is bearing the burden of actually being a middle-aged guy that has to face and fight for support on things that used to be so much easier 30, 20, 15 years ago. It's tough. And so I just been dealing with it. It's interesting to say the least. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna try to work on some more art. I have worked on art within the last couple of months, but I'm gonna try to work on some more art, and hopefully I can actually stream it. I'm gonna see what I can actually do to put it out there, and may take some time tonight and do some prep work for it. But I want to actually want to get back into the rhythm because it's been over a week and a half since I've taken the time off from work. And yeah, I want to start working on my health journey. Start now. And not just health, but I will say this. We need expanded mental health care in this country. And it's just hard. And Joe, I will tell you this. People at my job were starting to say that to me. And I know where you're at. I know, and this is like not a knock, but I'm glad I started listening about 20 years earlier because the way it was going down, I didn't want to get to a part where it would actually get worse before it got better. And dude, sending a hug back at you, man. I want to be better. And just looking at how it was a few years ago, after the winter, I can just bounce back. I can actually start, not only just bounce back quickly, I can actually just just train and do a 30-mile ride starting in May, at the end of May, when I started practices in March. Now it's just so hard sometimes to get the fuck up out of bed and not just sit back and look at the day and just have the impending sense of dread. And since the time I've taken off, it's different. It's better. And quite frankly, I needed to do this a long time ago. I needed to pay attention to myself a long time ago. But the fear and anxiety of actually taking the steps that I needed to do, it was like the video that I just did. It seemed like so much of a bigger cost than just getting taken care of. I am definitely afraid of needles. But now because of the shit, the mental health degrade and the physical health that I'm scared of getting worse is happening. Now I'm like, no, I need to take care of this before it gets motherfucking worse. And I'm glad I did. And quite frankly, we need to have a serious talk about burnout in this country. We need to have a serious talk about how, where is it? I know I still have it. We need a serious talk about this. We actually see it where you it's just that so many people think that I'm about to end the stream in a little bit anyway. When so many people think that, oh, it's sometimes it's just therapy. Sometimes it's just like, yes, sometimes it is therapy, but there are also outside influences that hurt, that hinder, and quite frankly, we need to address that. I mean, this is me addressing it in a way that helps me out, and just saying that if you get to a point where you find yourself are just tired all the time, address it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to take the time to head on out. Thank you guys for watching this evening. I put that video segment out, but I just want to say thank you guys for coming back, and I'm going to do better for streaming. And yeah. Good night.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's all
Is that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.